Hello my friends, it's Terry, Vegs Creates, here with another craft video for you using Tonic Craft Kit number 42. So here's a quick glimpse at the 3 cards that we're going to be creating today. The next portion is going to be a brief unboxing, and then I'm going to show you how I've made these 3 cards. So come and join me. Today we have the unboxing of Tonic Craft Kit 42, which I'm very excited about. So I'll quickly show you the contents of the box, and then I'm going to make some projects. Hopefully you'll get some inspiration and some tips if you're a subscriber to the kits, or if you want to find more information about them. And yeah, just have a nice enjoyable little half an hour or so. Might be less, might be longer. So the boxes always come like this, except they don't always have these in. So once a quarter, I think it's about every 3 or 4 boxes, you get a binder, and this is where you can choose, if you wish, to store each of your Tonic Craft kits, and they hold about 4 or 5 maybe, so it's quite generous really. And it says on the front, obviously, kit foot number 42, and there's usually a little leaflet or something in here. So this one, it's telling us that there's going to be 60% off all card and paper, and a massive spring sale from the 19th of April. So if you like Tonic products, then yeah, from 19th of April onwards, awesome. Another thing that I really like, and that they've started doing recently, is that they give you this card which has got inspiration from some of the design team members, of which I'm not one. I'm just an avid craft lover, and particularly buy a lot of Tonic products and really like their kits. It's got inspiration there, which is always really nice to see as a starting point, I think, you know, just to sort of help our ideas, our creative juices start flowing. And then on the back, it's got a full list of everything that's going to be included in the kit. So I'll refer back to that in a moment to talk to you about the colours of the card. There's always a die set and a stamp set. And there's always a little sticker, which I think is really cute, and I always stick them on the front of my pack. So this one says, "Live life in full bloom." And, you know, it's getting towards springtime, even though I don't know what it's like where you are in the world, but in the UK, our spring means it can be sunny one day and you can hang your washing out on the line, and the next day it snows. So, yeah. Spring is springing, it is trying, but we're not quite there yet. The stamps though, which are, by the way, they're always photopolymer, very high quality, and they've got a range of different springtime sentiments in different fonts, which is really nice. So I really like this springtime in capitalized letters, but with the little elegant scrolls. Live life in full bloom. Hello spring. We've got some insides of florals there. A little flight. Is it a flight of butterflies? I'm not quite sure, but that sounds like it should be a thing. If you know the correct term, then let me know. But yeah, a flight of butterflies. Maybe I'm thinking of Flight of Dragons. Did anyone ever see that as a kid, Flight of Dragons? It's still one of my favourite movies. It's animated, but I used to love it as a child. But anyway, spring is in the air. Spring fever. If friends were flowers, I would pick you. That's cute, isn't it? The first blooms of spring always make my heart sing. Yeah, that one speaks to me. Spring has sprung. Here's to lots of sunny days to come. So, you know, just lots of sentiment stamps for different occasions. And then with the dies, so clearly we've got some floral blooms, which obviously that's what the centres are for. So we can decorate, we cut these out and then you stamp them on their corresponding ones. There's a lovely banner with a nice fishtail. That's a really nice one, actually, a nice cute little banner. It's got a word here and a shadow, which I'm assuming is spring. It's got this lovely sort of long bloom, which is really pretty. And if we look back here, you can see that it's this one. So it's sort of, they've used it, the member of the design team has used it as an edger on the card, but that's beautiful. So it'd be really nice, as they've done, as an edger, or maybe I'm thinking that might be nice to do some paper piecing. There's not too many fiddly bits, but that just looks gorgeous. So, we shall see. Yep, so that's that for that one. And then for this one, it's got two different sort of floral, like half wreaths. I really like wreaths for all different seasons, but yeah, I'm thinking like you could use that one and then do it again and create a complete wreath. This one might be more tricky because of the size, but there's just so many options really. I think, so this one, yeah, this one, the design team member has, I would imagine, cut the backing layer and then put an intricate layer and then paper pieced into it, and then maybe added another white layer over the top. I do enjoy paper piecing, I really do. So I think I'm definitely going to incorporate some paper piecing into my makes. I also really like the idea of creating a decorative border. Yeah, so there's lots of ideas, lots of inspiration is sort of sparking in my mind, which is always wonderful. And if this is the first time you're watching any of my videos, what I usually do is this initial video of a sort of unboxing, and then several makes, so 2 or 3 makes, and then I'll do a follow-up video that'll be posted sort of a few days after with some more makes from the kit. And I endeavour as much as possible to use only products from the kit, maybe just supplemented with a few, you know, essential things like card blanks and you know, like white card or, you know, different coloured card, but I'll try and stick as much as possible to what is in the kit. So you always get a bag with different Nuvo products in. So oh yeah, let me refer back to this. So this time, so we've got the colours of the cards, which I'll tell you in a moment. So we get an Aqua Flow pen, so that's like a watercolour pen, and they come in 3 packs, I believe, and it's we get 1 pen, so it's a complete mystery as to which one you get, but you get 1 pen out of that range, to which I have got this lovely pink one called Sweet Pea, which is just gorgeous. And I haven't really used the Aqua Flow pens before. I've got another one here that came in a recent kit, Blush Rosette, and I haven't used them. So I'm thinking that I might do something with that, maybe some colouring, or you know, sort of include, maybe use it on a background, something like that. We get a little mini tape runner, and I really like these little tape runners. I think they're fab. They work really well, they stick really well, they're tiny, and it hasn't got a lid that you remove, it just flips down, so you don't have to worry about losing it. You also get so the Golden Years range of sequins, sequins, glitter and confetti. We get a random 2 pots, so it could be 2 pots of sequins, 2 pots of confetti, 1 pot of confetti, 1 pot of glitter. It's completely random. So I have got 2 sets of gold sequins. I've got light gold and rose gold, which is fab. I do like sequins, and I don't believe that I have either of these colours. The rose gold's quite subtle actually, because it doesn't really look that much different, but when you tilt it in the light you can see this is definitely a brighter gold and this is more of a dull not necessarily what I would call rose gold. I don't know, maybe you just have to put it, if you put it next to something rose goldy, maybe it'll appear more rose goldy. We get a full-size Nuvo drop in Carnation Pink. I think I've already got this one. I don't think this is a new one, but it's really lovely. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'll show you, because this is what I do with all mine. I swatch them out, so that's what it looks like. It's a beautiful sort of bright glossy pink. It's gorgeous, as opposed to, you know, like a shimmering one or a pale one. Yeah, it's a really lovely colour. We get a little embellishment tool. Now I actually bought myself one of these because I wanted to try it out again, because I do like adding embellishments to my cards and my other papercraft projects. So I bought myself one of these before and I really quite like it. It's really good. It's got a little sticky end. So that's excellent, because now I've got a backup. We get a little mini pot of Nuvo embellishment mousse, and this is in the colour, I believe, peony pink. It's beautiful. So yeah, I'm thinking definitely some like mixed media-y type background. And excellent. An A6 watercolour card pad, so you get 15 sheets. I've been working my way through one of the last one of these that I purchased, and it's great. It's really good quality. So I've used probably about a third of the one that I've got. I'll link a video here now. Actually, it's not from one of the Tonic Craft Kits, but it's from a recent video where I made 4 cards using one stamp set, and I used this card. And you can see here them using an Aqua Flow pen to create a watercolour background, and also to add interesting elements to florals, to flowers. So I'm going to have so much fun with this kit. Right, let's have a look at the paper. Again, if you are not a noob to my channel, you'll know that I love speciality cards and paper and Tonic. And, you know, I'm not being paid to say this, you know. I wish I was, you know. I wish I worked for Tonic, but I don't. But their paper and cardstock is just absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing. They have, so their paper range is called Craft Perfect, and they do some speciality. Oh, I've accidentally got 2. Oh, bonus. So you should only get 1 of each, but hey ho, I'm not going to complain. So this is one of their speciality handmade cotton papers. So it's a paper, not a card. Speciality paper, coral confetti. So as you can see, it's a beautiful sort of corally colour with sort of bits of yellow and gold, and it looks like tiny little hearts. It's really, really pretty. The next one, this is a regular Craft Perfect. This is 216 GSM. So this is your more bog standard paper that you would use for your die cutting and sentiments and things like that. Textured on one side, plain on the other. And that is the colour Buttermilk Yellow. So it's a nice pale yellow. Then we've got another one here, which is a darker yellow, and this one is mustard yellow. We have this speciality card, which is honey gold roses, which is just beautiful. Look at the pattern on that, it's stunning. That is again a classic card, and this is coral pink. Oh, that's just gorgeous. And then we've got a pearlescent card, and this is in lemon luster. So that's lemon, a yellow coloured card with a subtle shimmer. That's gorgeous, and this is like heavier weight. I think it's 250 GSM. I have used this to make like construct boxes and things like that. So it's a heavier weight one. And then we've got 2 mirror cards. We've got a pink chiffon, which I'm not sure if this is new or not, but I haven't got this. I don't think I've seen this before. So it's a beautiful pink colour, but there's also purple tones in it as well. That's really pretty, and it's like a matte mirror card. It's not like a really highly polished one. Similarly with this one, which is gold pearl, you can see that it's a really lovely, fun, bright, spring-like colour palette, and I really like to showcase the nice papers as well. So one of my makes, at least one of them's going to have to showcase this and this, because they're beautiful and I haven't used them before. So there we go. So that's the unboxing portion. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so as we've got the watercolour card and the embellishment mousse and this lovely Aqua Flow pen, I'm first going to do some mixed media type panels. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet, whether they're going to be backgrounds or whether I'm going to cut florals out of them. But first of all, I'm going to make them. So if you haven't, although I haven't used any of the Aqua Flow pens before, I have used the Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen, and they work in the same way. So basically, they come with this little yellow cap, which stops, which helps the brush in transit, so it stops any leakage. It basically stops the medium from wicking into the brush. So basically you have to sort of remove that and then just tighten it up and then squeeze it a little bit. It says here press, and then it should start wicking down. Oh, there you can see it's come into the barrel already. So I'm going to use a few splodges of this. I'm going to use a few splodges of this lovely Nuvo embellishment mousse. I'm going to use a little spatula and scoop out a bit of this, and it's sort of the texture of butter. Is sort of how I can best describe it. Really versatile. It's great to use through stencils, and you get a nice raised shimmery effect. And it's also, if you water it down ever so slightly, it's really nice to paint with, and I've done that in one of my previous videos. So I'll link that up here now so you can see what I mean. And then I'm just gonna add a couple of sprays of this and see what happens. So we're gonna smush. We're gonna smush and see what happens. So we've got some nice texture and things going on here. Let's use a bit more water to water that down a bit. I'm hoping to get 2 panels out of this. Looks nice. And then you can also add, you can either, if you want to speed it up, you can use a heat tool to speed up the drying process, or you can just let it dry naturally and then move on to something else, which is probably what I'll do. And then you can always dab off any areas that you don't particularly like. Like I felt like that was a big line running down it, so I didn't really like that. So I'll just put that to one side. I'm going to add a few more drops of the sweet pea and a little bit more water. And then we're going to smush again. It's so much fun doing this because you never get the same result twice. You just don't know what, you know, the outcome's going to be. So that one's looking very different. These kind of look like little flowers to me. And it also stops any waste as well, because, you know, I could probably get another panel off that. In fact, I might just do that. Obviously this will have much less on it, but you know, just to avoid any wastage, but that would be a really nice background for a card, you know, just with, you know, like with some subtle interest. And it's used up pretty much everything on the messy mat, so I just give that a quick wipe over with a baby wipe, and then that's done. I think that looks really nice. So there we go. So for my first card, I was inspired by this. I really like the way that this panel has sort of cuts right up to the edge, and then you can see a nice colour behind. So it is quite an intricate die, so I cut it through my medium-sized die cutting machine using a metal shim, and I was using 300 GSM white cardstock, quite good quality, but it sort of this bit sort of like was a bit warpy, so I decided to repeat the process and then stick the two together using wet glue, and then just put it under something heavy for a while to dry. And then I've gone ahead and made out of the same colour cardstock so that everything matches, because as we know, not all white cards are the same colour. So another thing, what I noticed when cutting this out, you can see that there are two butterflies. There's this one here and this one here. So I kept those and got rid of the petals. And then I'm planning, I've cut this little panel of the speciality paper, and I'm planning on sticking that here and then cutting around it so that it just shows behind the florals and the butterflies, and then I've cut a couple of extra little butterflies out to have them going across, and then I'll add a nice sentiment onto that. I'll turn the camera off at this point because you don't need to see me. All I'm going to do is stick that on and then chop round it. So I've now finished this card. I adhered the speciality coral paper behind and then just trimmed around the edges, and then I added a slim panel of the lemon luster pearlescent card to the right, just so it wasn't white against white, and I also cut a few more of these little butterflies out in the lemon luster to tie that together. And then I've picked out the sentiment that says, if friends were flowers, I would pick you, because I think that's really nice. And then I was wondering whether to put a happy birthday sentiment underneath that as well, but I thought I'd just leave it at that because then it's more versatile. I could always add on happy birthday later, you know, but otherwise that could just be a, you know, hello, I haven't spoken to you in ages, how are you doing, etc. kind of card. So I'm just going to stamp this now in VersaFine Onyx Black ink, which is my ink of choice for stamping sentiments. As you can see, that's come out lovely and crisp, and you don't have to press too hard. I was talking to my friend and next door neighbour earlier. I had recently made her some cards. It was her sister's birthday, so one from her and her husband, and one from her son and his wife to her sister, and she was just saying how much her sister had appreciated the handmade cards, and didn't think that she'd get any cards for her 79th birthday because of people not being able to go out to the shops and things. So it warmed my little cockles, guys. I think it's just something you know, that I really do sort of feel about this hobby, you know, of ours, is not underestimating the joy that it can bring people. You know, we have fun doing it. We have fun buying the supplies, looking at the supplies, buying them, thinking, oh my God, that paper is so gorgeous, and you know, but it also brings a lot of joy to other people. So I just wanted to add that little heartwarming snippet in there. So I'll be back shortly with some more progress. So for my second card, I'm using one of the decorative panels that I created, and again I used the same die, but this time I used one panel and cut it from each of the sides, so I just got the outer edge. So I've put them in this orientation, and then the fallout butterflies are coloured perfectly. It looks really nice. And then I've cut a piece of the mustard yellow cardstock down to 4.5 by 6.25, so A6 card size, and I'm going to glue, the plan is to glue these elements down. And again, I think I'm going to use the same sentiment because I really like it, using the same dye. It's just amazing how many different ways you can use it, really. So I'll see you shortly with the finished card for that. And here is the finished card for this one. I raised up the two larger butterflies on some tiny strips of foam tape, and then made a little trail out of the gorgeous Nuvo drops. I then filled in these two butterflies in with Nuvo drops, and that, obviously it's still wet at the moment, but that should look really nice when it dries. And I did just add a few dandelion yellow Nuvo drops as well onto there. So very similar colour palette to the last one, really, but you know, I really like the effect of this, just having the outline dyes, and I think the pinks and the yellows look really nice and summery. So yes, that's the second card. So I shall now move on to the third. So my friends, I'm on to project number 3. I decided to use a die, the one that makes this shape, and I wanted to do some paper piecing. So I cut the die out of white thick cardstock, and then I cut a backing plate for it, also out of the same white cardstock, and I wasn't sure what colour scheme I wanted to go for. I knew that I wanted to use this lovely coral pink on these flowers, and I wanted to use the lemon luster for the other flowers. What I ended up going for is I've made a 5.5-inch square note card, again out of the same 300 GSM white cardstock. And I've inked up the edges of this outline, which is very similar to these colours, in Puffy Heart, one of the Altenew inks. So I'm going to place that there, and then probably have a banner coming across with the sentiment, but that's sort of where I'm up to at the moment. So I'm going to stick that onto there, which is where I've got my green. This is what I call my gluing board. It's just a cheap plastic chopping board from the pound shop, and I do all my gluing on here. So yeah, in a bit I shall be back with a nice paper pieced image and some more progress or the finished cards. So I shall see you in a mo. And here we are, my friends, the final card. For this card I used 2 layering stitch dies to create some nice interest for the background. I paper pieced this intricate panel, which wasn't as time consuming as you might think. Again, I've risen up these larger butterflies on some foam pads, as well as the sentiment, which I just simply stamped onto white cardstock and then matted that onto the banner using the banner die in the lemon luster to tie that all together. So I'm really pleased with that. So all in all, for today's session, we've got this third card, we've got the second card, and the first card. So 3 completely different cards, and there's just so much more left to do. So much more cardstock, and still got 2 panels of this yet to use. So there'll be a follow-up video to this in a few days with I'm not sure how many cards, but I mean I've got so much inspiration. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like this and would like to see more of my upcoming content, then it'd be great if you could subscribe. I'll see you again in a few days with part 2 of this video. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see and speak to you again soon. Bye!